I'll just remind you, although I understand Putinov has no direct connection to this, the AFU 2026 counteroffensive has already begun. Let me remind you that just the other day it was very loud in Crimea as well, which is always more significant for Putin, as Russia burns from Moscow all the way to distant Tatarstan. That is just how things have turned out.
Russian rear areas are on fire. Emergency services have been put on high alert. Moscow has deployed equipment. Drones struck the Kalikino oil pumping station near Almatyevsk. A fire broke out at the facility, and footage of the flames and columns of emergency vehicles from the Ministry of Emergency Situations has spread across the internet.
And friends, here's an important point. Do you want to own a real captured Russian strike drone, Cube? Then I have some very good news for you. After the disassembly by the 429th Separate Unmanned Systems Regiment Achilles and the CL, due to political necessity, we urgently need to buy a van to transport ammunition. That's why we're launching a contest for a truly unique item captured by the efforts of this very unit, the almost undamaged, genuine Russian strike drone, Kub. The conditions for participation are in the description below this video, and the QR code is on your screens. And of course, glory to the armed forces of Ukraine. And I can just picture it, Putin sitting there in his bunker thinking, this is a total disaster on all fronts. The front lines, Moscow is being bombed. Who's going to help me, huh? Maybe Trump? No, Trump definitely has no time for you right now, you poor fool.
A new attempt on Trump's life took place in Florida. A man with a weapon broke into the Mar-a-Lago residence. This is the first attempted attack on the politician during his second presidential term. The intruder turned out to be a 21-year-old artist, Austin Tucker Martin, who is obsessed with drawing golf courses.
Yes, an attempt on Trump's life in his own residence in Florida is a very serious matter. I want to tell you, the story is rather strange. Let's give a bit of background. Let me remind you that in connection with the Epstein files, the very same sex offender and pedophile, it's rumored that Putin has devastating compromise on the President of the United States.
The White House is now trying to cut all of this off. But a new scandal is engulfing the US completely. Once again, discussions about Trump's possible ties to Russia are resurfacing. And all of this is happening right at a time when Washington is experiencing acute political tension. If these documents confirm even part of the connections, it will turn American politics upside down.
Yes, and after all of this, all those Putin jokes, you really have to admit, they no longer look like they are just jokes.
They were gathering compromising material on Trump during his visit to Moscow, like how he was having fun with prostitutes in a Moscow hotel. Is that true? Did you see those files, the videos?
Trump arrived in the city and immediately hurried off to meet with Moscow prostitutes. This is a man who for many years was the one who organized beauty pageants and interacted with the most stunningly beautiful women in the world. I can hardly imagine that he would run to a hotel to meet with our girls. They are women with a somewhat reduced social responsibility.
So to summarize, Putin really might have, and most likely does possess, some serious compromising material on Trump. But Trump, it seems, has kind of forgotten about this lately, which is why he extended the sanctions against Russia for another full year. And after that, what a coincidence. There was immediately an attempt on Donald's life right in his own residence. You know, all of this kind of reeks of that KGB-style signature. In fact, it was recently proven that Navalny was poisoned with a toxin from a South American frog. Of course, I'm not comparing Trump and Navalny, but you know, Putin's Russia can operate not only in Europe, in London, like it did with Litvinenko, right? It can also operate across the ocean, in Washington as well. What do you think, is Putin behind the attempt on Trump's life? Write your thoughts in the comments.